right, we continue now with an international focus with the portfolio manager of a top-performing global stock fund. Kimball Brooker co-manages the First Eagle Overseas Fund, which ranks in the top 2% of its peers for the past 5 years. 5 of its top 10 holdings are Japanese stocks, which are creating opportunities for a value manager like Kimball. He also co-manages the First Eagle U.S. Value Fund, which ranks in the top 7% of its competitors for the past 5 years. So you guys have been doing very well. That's why we love to have you on. You have a long history of a good track record, if that's not a little bit redundant, but you know what I mean. Let's talk first of all about Japan, because First Eagle is one of the first funds I thought about when this hit. We've had Jean-Marie Eviard on for a long time. He's been a huge fan. What has the fallout been like for you?
Right. Well, obviously, I extend my sympathies to everyone who's been affected by the quake and ensuing tsunami. For us, we took advantage of some of the indiscriminate selling that was going on by, in a disciplined way, adding to positions that we had in what we think of as, very well capitalized, for the most part, global businesses that have got often commanding positions within their respective industry. So where we could take advantage of the market disruption in a disciplined way to add to some of those positions, we did.
Talk to us about some of the companies here. You talk about their global exposure. They are, some of them, well-known names, some of them not so well-known names. I mean, which are the ones that you guys like the best?
I'd prefer if I don't specifically talk about the Japanese names. I'm happy to talk about other names, but we've been active in some of them, and so I'd prefer if we could talk about something other than specific names.
All right, I'm just trying to sort of gauge the effect of the earthquake and tsunami, and as you say, we don't want to be mercenary here. It was horrible on the businesses, because people have been talking about so much the effects on the supply chain, for example.
Right.
What do you think about that? Without mentioning it specifically.
Yes. Well, I'd say that the way that we think about investing at First Eagle is we're trying to buy very good businesses at significant discounts to their intrinsic value. And intrinsic value is a concept that reflects that is the value of the business over its life. And so a month or two of disruptions in the supply chain, problems with other logistics issues or distribution is unlikely in the short term to have a material impact on a company's intrinsic value.
And you have obviously a very long investment window here.
We have we've got our average holding period is 5 or 6 years, and so we're able and willing to look well beyond the next 6 months or a year when we're assessing the value of a business. All right,
let's look outside Japan then and talk about some holdings in other overseas locations.
Sure.
Where do you want to go, Europe?
Sure. Why don't we go to Europe? So we have a large holding in a company called Pargesa, which is based in Switzerland. Pargesa is an investment company or a holding company that's at the moment not unlike a closed-end fund in the sense that the 9 assets that it owns are all publicly traded shares of publicly traded companies in Europe, which range from Total, the integrated oil company in France, to Pernod Ricard, which is
the drinks maker,
spirits business, Absolute.
Don't have to remind me.
Right, okay. And the sum of the parts of what Pargesa owns trade at a substantial discount to where the holding company is trading. And in addition to that, we feel that a number of the underlying investments that Pargesa owns are also trading at substantial discounts to their intrinsic values. And so there's a double discount, if you will, at Pargesa. And the company is managed by it's really 2 families who are also major owners of the stock. One in Canada called the Desmarais, and one in Belgium called the Frères. And they have had a tremendous history of creating value for their shareholders. and treating them well. And so that's one of our top holdings in Europe. One that we like very much.
All right, great. Thanks. Always great to get new names from you guys.
Yeah.
Pargesa, Kimball Brooker there. We are going to take a